What's up, team? So we are on our way to OPEX Gatwick today, but we're doing a hero WOD, and we are doing a WOD called Lupo. Myself and Danny behind the camera. Say hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
We should be there in about 10-15 minutes. Quick warm up, and then we'll get cracking. So we're here. I'm rolled out. My Achilles are somewhere in the room, if anyone can find them. Probably next to my hamstrings or my spine. Probably gonna do a quick kind of 5 to 10 minute, like little kind of general warming phase. A little bit on the bike erg and a little bit on the ski erg over there in the corner. I don't wanna overly warm up when it's a super long kind of comprehensive Metcon that lasts about 50 minutes. I feel as though I need to do a little bit of general warming stuff, a little bit of kind of mobilization and stretching, maybe a couple of hindies and lunges, and then crack on from there. But none of that should take, even all together, take longer than about 10 minutes. Let's get cracking. It's not dance, it's exercise.
Oh, sorry.
Try it.
Work it, baby.
Oh, yeah.
There's the handstand stretch.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Right, so Lupo, time cap 50 minutes, flipping heck, which is good actually, because the last hero what I did, you filmed,
Yes.
but you were broken. But today you are fixed.
Just about.
Just about, so we're doing it together. That one was super short, that was like 9 minutes I think. And I did say last time we'll be doing a slightly longer one today. So 50 minutes, so it's a buy-in of 1,943 meter row, 1,943 calories, which is what I first wrote. That would be flipping horrendous. So 1,943 meter row, and then we are into, it's 100 descending. So it's 100 wall balls, 90 deadlifts. And for all the barbell exercises today, 60 kilos for me, 45 kilos for Haz, and then 80 hand release push-ups. So even if it's just a fraction of a second, you don't need to go out fully out to the side, fully extended above, just enough for the chest to be kind of seen to be on the ground. So you get that kind of that removal of kind of like momentum and stretch reflex. And then 70 box jumps, 60 toes to bar, 50 burpees, 40 power cleans at the same weight, 30 push press at the same weight, 20 weighted lunges. I think this is 20 pounds for me and 14 pounds for Haz. So nice and light, and then 10 barbell thrusters, again 60, 45. And then a cash out is 1,967 meters on the rower. So it's pretty spicy, again, compared to the other stuff I do and advocate in terms of like different work to rest ratios and slightly snappier stuff. This is just pure graft. But for me, for my head game, I don't know about for you, Haz, I like the fact that everything's changing, because what I don't like is AMRAPs or something where you go back into a round and you know how much is about to hurt because you just did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so looking forward to this. 50 minutes, couple more stretches, and then we'll get going. What is going on, guys? Jim Galvin here with the commentary, and we start off Lupo with a cash in of 1,943 meters on the row. Me and Harry kind of stuck to the plan here and basically said that I would do anything between about 250 to 300 meters, and she would do around about 200. This worked out pretty well, and we kept a nice comfortable pace for this and basically probably undercut it a little bit because we had no idea how the rest of the workout was going to go, because the rep schemes for all of these exercises are just so high, so we didn't really know whether or not it would be nice and kind of cruisable throughout the wall balls all the way down to the thrusters, or whether or not it was just going to kick us in the bum straight out the gate. So we went a little bit more kind of casually on the row here, but it is what it is, and it worked out quite well. Moving on to 100 wall balls, this actually felt kind of okay. So I did sets of 15, Harry did sets of either 10 to 15. I think I ended up doing 10 more in total, but actually fairly comfortable. I was wondering how my legs would feel after the row, but overall this felt fine. And I think overall, same for Harry. There's only so quick you can go on a wall ball, so you can't really gas yourself out too much. And I think for me personally, I'm quite elastic, which makes kind of springing out of the bottom hole quite easy for me. So although the number 100 obviously looks quite scary on a rep scheme with this, splitting it up into 2, and we're still fairly fresh as it's the beginning of the workout, this felt fine. Moving on to 90 deadlifts, this absolutely felt okay as well. 60 kilos for me, 45 for Haz. Trying to make sure that you don't go through these too quick by kind of overexerting yourself, overextending at the top and then smacking the plates down too hard on the ground. Nice, smooth movement. I'm a big believer that touch and go deadlifts can only really kind of cruise at a certain pace. And although you probably can, if you put in a little bit more effort into trying to make them go quick, they will go a little bit quicker, but it's not really worth the extra amount of effort and the extra risk of like having one plate hit the ground too early and stuff. And obviously there's still a lot of work out there to go ahead of this. So 90 deadlifts, I did my sets of about 10 to 15, nice and kind of comfortably, making sure the impact on the ground was nice and safe. And that leads us seamlessly into the hand release push-ups. Has smashed this, as she is an absolute warrior, but for me, I'll be honest, this is actually a lot harder than I thought. And I think one of the reasons is that I am quite elastic, and I think the hand release component means you lose all that tension and you don't get that stretch reflex. And for me, that made this significantly harder. I also have had a problem with my right pec tendon for a couple of weeks now. That's why I did pretty much nothing and no horizontal push movements the week before the Dubai Turf Games, and it just about kind of kept okay in that. But overall it did hold up, a little bit of pain towards the end, but I'll be surprised, and I do have to be honest with this is actually a lot spicier than I thought, and a couple of times I was doing like sets of 15, and I actually had to take a break, which I was flipping blown away with. But elastically, normally I kind of drop straight down, keep that tension, and then shoot straight back up. You just can't do that on the hand release. So the fact that there was 80 of these total, I probably would have preferred about 120 total normal press-ups. I think I would have been able to go through that quicker and less fatigued at the end, but I was surprised that this did keep me in the bum a little bit. Moving on to the 70 box jumps, I actually didn't find these too bad, got into a nice little rhythm. Again, just taking an extra second or an extra breath to make sure you kind of reset and jump at the right time. This, however, is where Harry started to struggle just a wee bit. She did do 10 more than me total. I think she did 40 overall and I did 30. And we kept it at 24 inches, so obviously for female height being 20, she did more than half, and she did higher than she should have been doing. So it was an amazing effort for her, but I could just tell, and she even said during and after, that is where she started to kind of get kicked in the bum a little bit. Sets of 10, breaking up nice and easy with this. So far we're kind of probably just over halfway through the workout in terms of total reps and volume now. And we kept to our original strategy of basically her doing 10 of everything and me doing either 10 or 15 of everything. Moving on to 60 toes to bar, I actually didn't find this too bad. I ended up doing 12 and she ended up doing 8. That's the way that we broke it up. And for me, they felt nice and smooth. The last couple of reps, just on the very last set, I could tell my abs, I could just start to feel them burn a little bit, and the grip was starting to blow up slightly. But if that happens at the last set before you move on to something that isn't pull-based, that's not too bad. So with this, I think you've just got to keep enough tension in your grip and down through the shoulder, that everything in the shoulder girdle is nice and stable, so that you can keep that swing, that little pendulum, and you can keep that movement nice and solid. As soon as you lose the swing, or you need to allow that swing to just drop and then start again to get that rhythm. But as long as you can kind of keep that, you're sorted. And moving on to 50 burpees. Shortening the set to about 5 each on this. I didn't find this too bad. Again, being quite elastic, I'm quite blessed that it's just easier for me because I can kind of spring up from this position. And obviously the double-edged sword with doing something that is only a set of 5 each and then rotating in your pair is that you are not doing as much, but then your rest feels like about 1 breath. But overall, I think 5 and 5 is probably the right strategy for this. Just do it, don't overexert yourself, and again, apply 30% more effort and speed to get like an extra 5% output. Just try and make sure from when she finishes, I'm straight in, and vice versa. And moving on to 40 power cleans, so obviously the volume is getting lower, but everything is getting a little bit heavier now. 60 kilos for me, 45 kilos for Haz, exactly the same as before. We said that we were going to break these up into sets of about 5. I think this became a lot kind of heavier in my favour, and I think all of that, again, from the 70 box jumps that we'd done earlier, Hazard was just a little bit battered, so I kind of took the reins on this a little bit and did a few more than she did, but I didn't mind this. I felt okay at this point. The thing that I really struggled with was early with the hand release push-ups, but with the power cleans I didn't really mind this. But again, that's kind of a perfect example of how things can happen in a partner WOD when someone starts to struggle a little bit and someone else can kind of pick up the slack. And it is absolutely not always me that is fine with this stuff. There have been a lot of other workouts just as many times as it is that way round. Harry's looking at me being like, you're clearly in the bin, Jim, I'm going to take over a little bit and kind of pick up the slack. It just so happened to be that that's the way that kind of the cookie crumbled today. So 40 total power cleans, 16 45 kilos for me and her, and then moving on to 30 push presses. And I think this, again, 45 kilos for her is probably a lot heavier for a woman than 60 kilos is for a guy. So I think I did sets at 10, just trying to do touch and go from the shoulders, but the shoulder girdle itself was really struggling at this point to stay nice and stable. So 30 push presses at 60 kilos, I mean, that should be, especially when you can use your legs, that should be pretty easy. And it didn't feel too hard or too kind of heavy as such. It just felt quite unstable. But at this point, obviously, you know that you don't have that much volume left on anything that is barbell-wise before you get back on the row. So you just kind of push, and this is the time, in my experience of this workout, where you do just start to check in with yourself and go, how am I going? Can I just inject a little bit of speed into this? 20 weighted lunges with 20 pounds. So I just picked up the same 9 kilo wall ball that I used for the wall balls earlier. And I actually did all of the weighted lunges here just to give Hazza a bit of an extra break before we move into the thrusters. And my wrist mobility is so bad that I can't do standard press-ups, which is why on the hand release earlier, you saw me doing some of them with my fist. I find it very, very hard to get to a position where I'm kind of completely joint stacked because my right wrist is so battered. So thrusters have never been a strong point for me. But again, when something is only 10 reps, you just feel as though it's appropriate to just push through regardless of kind of the level of pain, if you know what I mean. And then a cash out on the row of 1967. I almost felt with the kind of the 250 to 300 meter row that I was doing in the 200 meter row for Haz, that I kind of felt a little bit rejuvenated, even though I was pretty gassed, even though I was proper gassed from the barbell stuff. One of the things I've been working on recently is really manipulating those work to rest ratios so I can chip away at my body's ability to recover quicker, and that really seemed to work with this. So 1967 on the row, split up fairly evenly, with me obviously doing a little bit more, which kind of should be the case on a male to female partner WOD. Super happy with how this went, super happy with the fact that I did start to feel a little bit battered from the press-ups, but just kept pushing through, and it was nice to know that I still have in me the ability to kind of experience that level of adversity and pain. And that was one of the great things about this. Me and Harry were pretty much silent other than changing the strategy a couple of times throughout, but there was no chatting, there was no smiling, it was literally just get your head down and flip and grind. And sometimes, especially on Remembrance Day when we're doing a hero WOD on that day, it was nice to just kind of have that strange primal moment of adversity that we kind of shared together. I don't know, sounds weird, but I enjoyed it. But overall, cannot recommend this enough. An unbelievably cool, really, really, really good kind of chipper for me. One of the best partnered hero WODs I've done. Lupo, get involved, guys.
It wasn't as though it was the last like 10% that was gopping, it just got really hard around about fucking halfway through.
Yeah, 40 box jumps was spicy.
Yeah, I think that's around about where it started to suck for me, actually. The press-ups, actually, I found insanely hard. That's really weird. I mean, I've got like a problem with my right pec, so I'm not benching right now, but I don't know, it didn't feel like it was pain. It just felt like I'd done 1,000 of them. Maybe the wall balls.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
took out a bit
the wall balls
more.
were a bit spicy.
Yeah, and that's push movement. I don't know, but like, I know they're hand released, but they're still just press-ups.
There's a lot of upper body, more than I anticipated, even though I saw the workout. Like wall balls, burpees, press-ups, like cleans a little bit, shouldery.
Yeah.
Push press, like everything with shoulders.
Yeah. Cross it all over, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Shoulders and legs. Well, you need strong shoulders if you're going to spend your life walking on your hands. So. That makes sense.
That's what this workout missed. I could have done some handstand walks. That'd be my jam.
Fresh as a daisy, I can't do a handstand walk, so I'm glad. There's a reason I choose the workouts I choose. I said actually we'd shortlist them, and one of you guys would choose.
We did shortlist them to 2 between us. We had the one, what was it called? And it had like 100 deadlifts.
Oh, bury me or something. I'm gonna bury you. Or something like
Oh yeah,
that.
I'm gonna bury you, and it was.
Yeah, that was just 100 of everything times 100. Then we thought, well, we've got shit to do this week, so we won't do that one.
100 calories, 100 deadlifts.
But the 100 calories was like you did that about 5 times.
Yeah, and the deadlifts were like heavy.
Not on my watch. But no, that was really good actually. I did enjoy that. That was good. It was good to be in the locker. For me, like I said at the beginning of the video, self-awareness is key for me, and I know unless I have a date in the diary of something I need to be in shape for, I 1,000,000% let myself off the hook. And there's been, I don't know, it's annoying. It's annoying with my background that you'd have to kind of admit that, but it's honest, and I think it helps with that level of kind of integrity and self-awareness, because I know, so I've entered into competitions in about 10 days. I think there's loads of CrossFit Games guys there, so I'm not going to do very well, but it means that even like I entered it yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon I had a better leg session than I would have done if I didn't have it. So it's like, it's bloody helpful, I think. Put something in the diary, have something to train for, make sure you hit the sessions hard. God, I'm glistening. Look at that.
Oh, you're so shiny.
Fantastic. Look at all the dirt. Another hero WOD next month, methinks.
I'm not going to be injured for that one either.
No, we'll be fit and healthy. Any suggestions of what you want us to do other than Murph?
We should have done Murph today.
We should have done Murph.
It's Remembrance Day.
It is Remembrance Day. Today would have been the perfect opportunity.
I need to get better at running first.
Yeah, I know, same. Basically, 100% honesty, it is my ego that doesn't want to do Murph because I know that I'm not going to do very well. Because my running's not very good at the moment because my Achilles are so battered. So I don't want everyone on flipping YouTube being like, that Raw Marines are crap, mate. That guy did Murph in 4 days and 3 hours. So I feel as though I need to get in better shape to represent the memory of Michael Murphy a little bit more effectively, I think. Happy?
Yeah.
Good work. Good work, Danny.
Go on, camera girl.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Until next time, bye-bye.